has any questions as we're going along, let me know in the chat. But we've moved on to number 4 of our 6. So this is all about more about exam technique. So I've shown you a little bit earlier how the students might access content to support them in learning exam technique. But we also have on the site realistic mock exam papers. And I can show you how this looks from a student's perspective. So if I have a student, I'm just seeing if I have one available. Let me refresh my page and get it to come up. Perfect. So here, go up a bit. Here we've got a number of what we call assignments. And assignments are designed to help students feed back to their teacher their knowledge, but they can also use them for exam practice. And this is where I'm going to jump over to the teacher site and show you exactly what's available. So for every single subject on the teacher website, there are practice exams that you can set for your students. These are set in the assess area and in assignments. So if we go to the ready-made section of the website and let's choose a subject, and we've done some history, we've done some maths, we've done some English. So let's try MFL, let's try Spanish. So an assignment is a little different to a check and challenge because it's set by the teacher. And that means you can use it as a formal assessment because you know the students have never seen the questions before. And there are 2 types. We've got end of topic. So these are quite short, maybe 7 or 8 questions. And then we've got exam style. And these are designed to mimic a real exam paper. Now, the questions that are in here have been written bespoke for GCSE Pod. So they can be used to supplement past papers, if that's what you're using already, or they can be used instead of past papers. Now, if I show you how this looks from the student's perspective, if there's any Spanish teachers out there, you will hopefully confirm that this is designed to mimic the exact experience that the students would have in the exam. And as this is a listening exam, we even have audio clips to reflect how the students would be receiving the information in the exam. So I'll show you a little example.
Perfecto. Pienso que va a llover mañana. Entonces sería una actividad ideal. Hoy preferiríamos explorar la naturaleza.
Here we go. So just like a real exam, we've got the audio clips. The students can then work their way through. This is mainly multiple choice, which means there's no marking available to do, and all the results will go straight back to your students. Now, if there are free text questions, I think there might be a couple in this paper. Let's take a look. We will include indicative content. So if there is a free text question like this one here, we will include indicative content and mark schemes. So free text questions do need to be marked by the teacher, but as you can see, for a lot of the questions, they are multiple choice, and so they'll be marked automatically. And this can be a brilliant tool either for building up evidence of attainment, which could be exceptionally valuable if a student was to not be able to come to their exam because of COVID. But they can also be used as brilliant exam practice. You can do them in a class environment to mimic a real exam under time constraints, or you can just send these out to the students to help give them more examples of what the real exam will look like. Brilliant. So we're moving to the last 2 of our 6 key areas, and that is identifying misconceptions. So in the last few weeks of the exam, it's crucial to try and zone in on any particular misconceptions your students might still have prior to them tackling that exam paper. And I showed you a little bit earlier, check and challenge. That was the thing that was all purple with the diamond scoring system. And what you might have not identified is that there is actually a lot of teacher reporting that comes back from those check and challenge quizzes. So I'm now logged in as a teacher, and I can see here that there is a check and challenge icon, and I can access a detailed mark book from the check and challenges that my students have been doing. So all I would need to do is choose one of my classes, select the check and challenge. So if I'm maybe going to be doing a revision lesson, I might want to see some of the results prior to running that lesson. And this is the results that I will see. So this is a check and challenge with 8 questions. And you can see that 20 students have completed this check and challenge. Now, typically, if you were getting assessment results, it would tell you what percentage of the students got the question correct. Well, we do that, but we also have a lot of other data which can help you find misconceptions. So what you'll notice is you've got this color coding. Now, the green means that the students got it right on their first attempt. Orange is their second attempt, and then red means they got it wrong on both attempts. So we can see that this first question and last question were clearly the questions the students struggled with the most. So let's take this last question. Now, what's interesting as well is that nearly all the students chose the hint. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a sip of water. So despite using the hint, they've still struggled with this question. So clearly there's something wrong with their understanding of this topic. So if we click on the question, you can actually see which was the distractor that was causing them to get the question wrong. And this distractor is actually linked to a misconception. I'll let you read that whilst I take another drink. Excuse me, if any of you were at the Bet show last week and were there for 4 days, you'll know that the air conditioning in there was dreadful and we're all coming back hoarse, so excuse me. So this distractor is actually linked to a misconception, meaning that as you work towards the exam, you can uncover any underlying misconceptions that your students have through these check and challenge reports. And it might be that just by tackling this one misconception in your next revision lesson, you're able to help a good proportion of your class get an answer right that they would have got wrong.